Hello, friends. Welcome to the third installation of the book of Colossians. My name is Pastor Guy, and you have read the entire book of Colossians. You're doing great. Keep up the good work. I know it was a short one, but it was a great one. And I love how this all comes together. Today we read verse 3:18 to 4:18, which was the culmination of it all. And Paul decides to give us some basic real-life instructions on living for Christ before he gives some beautiful greetings to so many people that he has been doing ministry alongside. He starts with instructions for our houses, our relationships, and what it really means for us who are belonging to the Lord to really love each other, the way that we love our spouses, the way that we submit to our spouses, the way we don't talk harshly to our spouses, the way that I need to be careful as a father to not aggravate my children and discourage them. I want to lift them up. The way that whenever I work, I need to work as though the Lord is watching me. I had a lady one time when I was a wonderful Christian lady one time point this out to me when I was in high school, working at the grocery store, and I must have been, just him-hawing around with everybody, doing what people do, working an hourly simple job here in high school, and she saw, hey, man, you're being lazy, and so she pointed out, I was offended by this. I was young and dumb, and she's like, hey, there's a Bible verse that says you need to work as if you're working for the Lord and as if he's watching you. I was like, yep, okay. Didn't know that. Didn't want to know that. But I needed to know that. I needed to be reminded of that. And so I got to be thankful for that. And obviously it stuck. I remember it. And that's just important. And so this is all kind of coming together and calling us. So it's like knowing that Christ is supreme in your life, right? Knowing that you have a new life in Christ and that you're set free. What do I do with that? Well, I do today's passage. I live how God calls me to live. I live obediently to Jesus's teachings and his commands. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. It's not just an idea. We're not like these philosophers that just sit in our ivory towers and talk about great ideas and then do nothing about it. No, we live. We have faith that we put to work. And I love verse number 5 and 6. Live wisely among those who are not believers and make the most of every opportunity, and let your conversation be gracious and attractive so that you will have the right response for everyone. Friends, we are not supposed to sit in our ivory towers and just read our Bibles. We are not supposed to hide in our houses and just read our Bibles, or just listen to Christian music as we drive down the road and not ever be out and about with people. We are not to hide hide away in monasteries and hide away in communities. We are not to Christianity was never designed to be a place where we pull ourselves out of society. We are to be in the world, but not of the world. We are to live wisely among those who are not believers. Because God's plan, right? If he wanted to, every time someone gets saved, he could just take us to heaven. But that's not his plan. His plan is to unleash you and I as missionary agents in the places where he called us and planted us and equipped us. And you have a mission, you have work to do. So live wisely and rep Christ well. And he shocks about this at the very end as he talks like, when I preached through the book of Colossians, one of the things that I did when I got to this last chapter, I was like, everybody was like, just ignore it, just quit and move on. There's nothing to say there. And I'm like, no, wait, there has to be something to say there. And I just remember that was the Sunday that I played a classic Christian song that goes like this. It goes, thank you for giving to the Lord. I am a life that was changed. Thank you for giving to the Lord. I am a life that was changed. This is like Paul saying thank you to everyone who is a part of the ministry that he was called to. And so it's beautiful to see. And someday there's somebody, is there somebody that would make a list like this that included your name? Thank you for giving to the Lord. I was a life that was changed. Thank you Thank you. Thank you. Where do you fall on these lists, right? You have that assurance, that participation. Remember, you've been reading the Bible all year. You're doing awesome. But you don't just read it just for yourself. You read it because you want it to change the way you live and interact and living wisely in a fallen world as a believer. And so, God bless you, Colossians. Check. Nice work. I will see you in 1 Thessalonians. God bless you. Bye.
Down from heaven as the power of Christ